I just want to lay out what cross-border online shopping or cross-border e-commerce is. That's when someone from another country buys something, for example, from the U.S., and they get it shipped to them in that country. So first off, I want to talk to you about supply chain issues and logistics issues. Over the last year here in the U.S., we went to the store a lot of time, and stuff just wasn't there. Has that promoted cross-border e-commerce, or has that hurt cross-border e-commerce?
Generally speaking, Frank, I think it has promoted e-commerce. We have had a very unique period of 2 years where consumers around the world, as stores in their local countries, local neighborhood were closing, were basically having to access global goods. And they started discovering that buying directly from brands and retailers overseas was actually quite convenient. They started trusting the process, and therefore we're seeing a lot of cross-border trade right now. You know, by all forecasts, the cross-border in the consumer goods space should reach about $750 billion by 2023. So a massive growth over the last couple of years that we see now in a sustained way as consumers are getting used to buy cross-border internationally.
Well, you certainly work with some global brands, including Nike and Estee Lauder. One thing you do is you localize their websites. Why is that important for companies as they try to promote direct-to-consumer sales, especially across borders?
I think consumers' experience has got to be as local as possible, right? So you behave in a certain way, you are used to some payment methods in your domestic market, and therefore you want to make sure that brands, as they reach out to those global consumers, are offering the same easy, convenient, trustworthy payment options, return options, and direct communication with the brands. So our view is that we need to be as native as possible with our technology and the service that we provide to our global brand partners.
So you're obviously trying to help companies increase their sales. Generally, you know, if you go on a site, I know if I do, if I see it's in euros or yens, I'm a little bit more hesitant because, number one, I have to do the conversion. I got to figure out a few things. But one question, as you increase these sales across borders, obviously you face more supply chain challenges. How does ESW help companies navigate those supply chain challenges through your alliance with UPS?
So the UPS alliance is literally breakthrough. It brings two ecosystems together. ESW technology, which is deep localization through easy and light plug-in into our partners' brand tech stack and whatever platform they're trading on. And we serve to the international consumers a very local customer experience. That means prices that they are used to in their local currency. We take care of all the compliance issue. We take care of all the duties and taxes that are relating to international sales. So that is no surprise at the time when the consumer wants to transact. And we offer to them, in most geographies, up to 200 markets around the world, a very local price, which includes duties and taxes. So there's no surprise at the time which it checks out. Mm-hmm. Where UPS comes in is that basically their extensive outbound US logistics ecosystem, their custom brokerage platform, plugging in with our own ecosystems, will get brands in the US to offer their service in about 4 weeks' time now to the global consumer base.
So, Patrick, obviously you have a lot of insight into global freight, its rates, delays, and things like that. Big customers like Nike and Estee Lauder, also your partnership with UPS. What are you hearing about the potential of a freight recession, something we're worried about here in the U.S.? And as far as log jams, obviously we've had some big disruptions, like the port of Shenzhen being shut down temporarily. What's the picture that you're seeing either from your customers or from your alliance from UPS?
I think there are some sustained challenges, Frank, that emerged in the autumn of last year. We saw how challenging the autumn-winter season, especially for those brands, some of our clients in the fashion side of the business or even the luxury goods space. I think that the disruption has been massive. We were hoping for recovery faster than it's happening now. Obviously, the war in Ukraine is not helping to normalize the availability and the capacity worldwide. We're still off versus where we were pre-2019, COVID. And so we see that going on probably throughout the remaining of this calendar year, even though we expect the peak season this year to be actually in a better place by the time we get into September, October, November. But continued pressure on capacity, inflation obviously ramping up on the supply chain side, rampant across the board. Obviously, at ESW, we are able to leverage a $1.5 billion of volume globally to offer our clients the most efficient rates possible as they fulfill the international orders and demand.